I'm Jacob Chandler. I'm 5'8", about 192 pounds. I'm going to be competing this next weekend, the Ohio State Championship. I will be competing in Classic Physique Class B and Open Men's Light Heavyweight Bodybuilding.
Okay, but go ahead and tell us about your workout today, your movements, and what you like.
Yeah, so we did a little bit of chest, shoulders, and triceps. Threw in a little bit of biceps as well. Today was kind of a lighter day, being 1 week out. I'm not really trying to push the weight or anything. Just trying to get through the motions, push some blood into the muscle. So start off with a couple fly variations, went to a machine press after that, to then a barbell press, and then finished with a set of chest flies. Now those would be the primary lifts I was hitting, and then I kind of supersetted each one with a tricep movement and a shoulder movement, working in a lot of different lateral motions for the shoulder, and then just every kind of angle I could for the triceps on top of that.
What's your cardio like?
Right now, working with my coach, Jacoby, out of Camp Jansen. We've been pushing the cardio further and further each week. So I think when I started off this prep, I was at 40 minutes 4 times a week, and now we're up to 2 hours every single day of the week.
Okay, Jake, what is diet like compared to off season plus coming into the show, being a week out?
So obviously, we had to cut some calories just to create that caloric deficit to start losing weight. During the off season, I was pushing as many calories as I really could. I was getting up to 4,500, about 5,000 a day on some of the higher days. Going into prep, working with my coach, we instantly dropped that back right away, introduced a little bit of cardio. And we've been trimming that back further and further all the way up until this point where I'm currently at no carbs just for the last couple weeks here going into the show. A lot of protein with a little bit of fats.
Okay, Jake, so it's been around 7 years since you competed last. You've been lifting everything, but go ahead and take us through that. Let us know what you did during that time period. Kind of know you've added around 20 pounds. Now you were only 19, so you were a kid too, but what you brought up, how that went, getting married, what life was like during that 7-year period.
Yeah, so last time I competed, I was 19 years old, and that was at Teen Nationals. Once I finished up there, I really focused in on school. I was going to Michigan State University at the time. I ended up graduating from there with a bachelor's degree in supply chain management. I went to work out in Wisconsin for an auto parts supply company, working in the supply chain management department. After doing that for a little bit, due to some personal issues, due to some family issues, me just not really liking how it was, I knew I had to switch it up. I had to change career paths. I couldn't sit behind a desk all day and look at numbers. It just wasn't, it didn't match my personality in any sense of the word. So I needed something that I could, be with people, talk to people. That's more my personality type. And obviously I'd love to incorporate something like the gym. It's something I have a passion for. So I came back to Michigan, linked up with some old buddies, and then I ended up finding the gym I'm currently working at now, Pulse Fitness. And I've been a personal trainer here for about 4 years now. And that's at least as far as my career has gone in the past 7 years. Personally, I've gone through spurts of, training super intensely, some not as intensely. And then obviously in the past 4 years starting to work at this gym, I've been able to focus more and more on my physique. And most of the improvements I've made have probably come over the past 3 to 4 years, not the years prior from that. And that's really due to the environment that I'm in right now. I also met my wife through this job. Actually, funny enough, her father was one of our members at one of our locations and ended up introducing the two of us, and we just hit it off. She was doing a competition at the time. I knew what she was in for and what she had to go through, so I could kind of understand that, especially when you first start off dating, you can't really go out to eat all the time. You can't do this. You need to go do cardio, and just being able to understand what she was going through early on in the relationship helped us build a strong foundation to where we are now. Then I'm trying to think, going forward from there, everything's been pretty good. We've moved a couple times, got ourselves a house, and we've been married now for about a year and a half, and life's good. COVID was, it was challenging, definitely, because her being in the hospitality industry, she wasn't working either, and the gym was shut down, so I wasn't working as well. definitely got some good quality time together, which we both enjoyed. But after about a week or two, we just wanted to get back to reality, man. Because as fun as it is, getting to relax and have that time off, we're both very proactive people. We like to see people, like to do things, and like to go places. And that was all very limited during COVID. Made it very hard to see any forward progression, if that makes sense.
So since last time you came in, but now you've put, like I said, you're a man now. You were a kid back then, but you put on like around 20 pounds. Like, where would you say you had added most of the weight, and what did you do to add the weight in that area, Spud?
So I'd say the majority of my size gain probably came into my shoulders, my back, a little bit my chest, and a little bit my legs. That was mostly just through, focusing more and more on heavy lifts. I've always done heavy compound lifts, and that's always been something I'm a proponent of, but really just hammering it home the past 3 to 4 years, focusing more and more on pushing the weight each time I'm in the gym, perfecting my form to make sure I'm moving that weight efficiently, and then just progressive overload, time and time again, a little bit more each time, another rep, another couple pounds, make sure your execution's on path, and doing that just year after year. And then obviously pushing the food as much as I can helped, I think, tremendously. And then obviously just being in this environment, like I said earlier, being in the gym helps a lot. You're surrounded by people that are all doing the same thing as you. It makes it very easy to stay focused. If you're feeling lazy or, I don't want to do this workout, I want to do this cardio, you can look up and see 20 examples of people doing what what you're not feeling motivated to do, and all of a sudden you want to do it. So I think if anything, I'd have to give credit to the environment more than anything, just putting me in the right area to grow.
Just a little refresher, Bud, because it was a while ago since last time we interviewed. What was the kind of the driving factor for you getting in the fitness industry that got you started bodybuilding and knowing you want to do this?
Yes, that was actually, so I had a back injury when I was younger, and I couldn't play contact sports anymore, so I just needed a competitive outlet. And at the time, I was, I still am very close to my grandmother. She actually bought me my first gym membership, and she used to compete way, way back in the day. So she just told me to try one out when I was 17 years old. She said, just see how you do. It's something for you to try out, because she knew I was down and out from not being able to do contact sports. And, I did the first one. I was kind of hooked with the feeling of being on stage, the feeling of more of just having a goal and working towards something. I shouldn't even really say the stage now that I think of it. It was more just having a date, an objective, a goal, and then getting to that point and completing that objective. There's something about that was very satisfying and appealing to me. So I did a couple more after that, up until 19 for when I was at school. But I'd have to, if anything, what got me involved most would probably be my grandmother, to be honest with you, because she was the one when I was 14 that drove me to the gym every day. When I was 15, she would take me to the gym all the time with her, and we wouldn't work out together, but she would still take me there whenever she went, pick me up when I ever needed a ride, all before I got my license. And those first couple years of working out, I definitely learned a ton from her, even at the time.
Very cool, Bud. Well, I'm going to have you thank anyone, sponsors, family, friends, anyone you want to thank with it.
Well, I'd like to give a shout out and thank you to my coach, Jacoby, for dealing with me. I know I'm not the easiest client to deal with, especially with my work schedule and my sleeping schedule on top of that. I'd like to give a shout out to also my buddy, Zach Penrod, who's one of my best friends, has helped me along the way. Any questions I have with posing or anything, or just, help calm me my nerves, he's always been there. And then most importantly, I have to thank my wife, Simone. She's been an angel through this whole process. Anytime I'm disgruntled, anytime I'm hungry, anytime I might be snappy towards her, she has such a level head and an understanding towards what I'm going through and what I'm trying to accomplish. And she supports me 100%, from cooking the food to waking up early to make sure I have my meals ready, and just making sure that everything on my end is as easy as can be, at the expense of her own time and her own freedom. So I wouldn't be able to do what I've done if it wasn't for her.
Awesome, man. Very cool. Well, we wish you the best of luck on the show and everything. We'll definitely follow along, and we'll catch up, do a video with you when you're hitting your off season.